right here will get an additional 500 euros for themselves. The winner of the group,
Boom.
an additional 1,000. But let's not talk, or at least jabber on for a longer time. It's time to see if Apeks is actually able to close that with a 2-0, or if they will have to go towards new deferred map. And first, of course, a little bit of a stabbing to come out.
Yes,
CR4ZY will want to start on the CT side once more, just like they don't do towards the map of Dust. But will they be able to? So far, it seems to go rather well.
Oh, but in the end, Apeks takes the upper hand here. Gruss especially coming in clutch again. CR4ZY is taken out, and that is potentially a very good start for Apeks here. They can stay on their CT side, and that might just mean that CR4ZY here could be looking at a bit of a disadvantageous start. You know, a situation where they might be facing off against worse odds, where things might not go as well as you'd kind of hope for them to go. Let's immediately dive into that pistol round now. And see, I'd say may the best win, but this is going to be a very telling pistol round as well. If this goes to the way of Apeks, then they can definitely get a couple of rounds in, a bit of a streak going even. But if this goes the way of CR4ZY, well then that advantage will be theirs. And they'll be able to start off the map and decide the pacing.
The important thing to note is that Apeks in the previous map was able to win both pistols. And of course that will help you quite a bit as well, as we do see a bit of, or actually all of mid control going down in favor of the T side. They're moving up for that B split, not to be contested as of yet, clearing out ladder, and there's no player there. Yet on short there will be one. Dennis getting the first frag, also Marcelli stepping up, and so far they're still surviving. Akis and Truve also coming in.
Clean.
And that was the cleanest pistol round we've seen so far, meaning that Apeks so far 3 out of 3 for their pistol rounds.
Off to a good start, and indeed those pistol rounds might be the indicator to keep the eye on, you know, the indicator to say if Apeks gets a good round in and of course most importantly a good half. The pistol round is always a bit of, there is a bit of an element of random chance, I think we'd both agree, you know, it's not like a full buy. Also, oh, MP5 SD, let's go. That's interesting. Don't see that one that often.
No, it's not that great. Sometimes I buy it just because it sounds cool, but
sounds
it
really
doesn't
cool.
really do too well. Gruss with the opening kill right now. Look at the skin as well. It's horrendous. Yet he will be able to get a double with Dennis also supporting him. Karma will chime in as well. The MP5 to be punished, and Dennis with a triple kill of his own.
That's what you get, you know. For
Yeah.
how dare you in the first place use that weapon, and then how dare you make it look that ugly?
Like, I'm not sure who designed that skin, but it must be like 12-year-old.
Oh,
No.
hey now, there was an actual human being put effort into that
It looks a little bit like chalk or graffiti. I'm not too sure. It's interesting. Maybe it's a rainbow.
I was just going to say a little bit of everything, you know. Rainbows are nice, though. I like rainbows. I like double rainbows even more.
All the way across the sky?
Yeah. You have seen that video, right? The guy, it's a classic.
Dude, do I seem as if I don't have any internet?
Sometimes.
Oh, all right. Meanwhile, we see Truve actually getting the first death of the round rather than the kill, as Gruss had a good angle. It seemed as if he would be hitting some shots, yet he didn't hit anything. Could have been the instant equalizer, but so far it's going to be Dennis moving in. Now Dennis also getting a second. There is another player on towards mid, and will be Sensei getting a double, actually a triple as well, as they move in one by one. And we do see now Sensei clutching out the round together with DemQ, and the first round in favor of CR4ZY to come in. They're doing well to at least come back so far, but will they be able to also string together yet another round? Apeks, their economy is already in shambles, and they will have to go on the Nico with maybe just a few upgraded pistols. That's just not too great for him. It's going to be hard for him to be able to bounce back. Yet, of course, with a deagle on towards Akis and Gruss, there might be a chance. However, so far Dennis has been that star player. But also, look at Sensei. Lack of head armor. There is a chance.
That's a danger, you know. That means that that USP could hit that much harder. Would be an AK in the hands of Apeks, of course, and another potential for a turnaround coming in. But we'll have to see how the rest of that pans out. Right now, it's a rather slow play by the T side. Not really committing to anything just yet. Dennis here goes for an engagement, but only manages to tag just a little bit.
Well, at least it's 35 damage done in the right direction for the side of Apeks. Of course, slowly still waiting with those deagles. Akis is trying to peek out and get some intel for himself. Will be yet another B split to come down from the side of CR4ZY. And Akis, she moving to the chair as well. Now hearing the utility come in soon. 3 players already stacking towards his side. There will be a frag, there will be a double from Apeks. He will fall through Sensei as he's again standing by with the AK. The Circus is very, very low. He will get 2 kills in, tapping away, not really dealing a clean kill. But there will be a return as well from the side of Apeks. Now getting some AKs of themselves. It will be Sensei with a follow-up on towards Gruss. Only Dennis alive, but the bomb already moving towards the A side. A very good read coming down from the crazy players. But, well, Sensei, as we said before, without any head armor. Even the USB could make it work, as we do see Dennis now recovering that AK. Nothing really to lose apart from that weapon. And it's going to be slowly moving in. Of course, no defuse kit, so time will be of the essence. 1 player right here deep in the corner. Psycho currently from CT, soon to see the player and will get a clean kill. That is not looking in the right direction, meaning we have an equal score once more. But of course, Crazy's still way behind for themselves.
And we'll see with that Crazy now reaching that equalizer. And I believe that there's still, it has to be commended there. That's a good amount of damage done, really, for, Apeks coming in there.
Well, we do see the buy now coming out. It is an AWP for Marcelius, but with little utility and only 1 defuse kit for themselves. There will be a spray on towards mid, no damage being dealt because Dennis and spraying through smoke doesn't work, so you could have expected that one from the get-go. However, Crazy will now come close towards that mid control. So far, no AWP trying to contest right here. There will be that boost through the smoke to come in, and Dennis is standing by the moment. AV will show, he will get a frag. Not as cleanly as he wanted to, but at least he didn't take any damage, and Psycho is now out for the count. Meaning we're currently in a 5-2-4. Apeks having the player lead, but of course, little utility. And, well, not really having too many defuse kits either might not really help them in the long run.
And we'll see if the first frag going to the way of Apeks. Truth there. Oh, not a chance along with Marcelicious. They both go down. Dennis does come in from jungle, though. Sensei, in the meantime, also takes out Akers. But Dennis, he continues. Doesn't get the third, though. Only Gruss left. Plays it slow with the intel play. Gets the first. The second isn't immediately there because he's looking the wrong way. And that means DemQQ can refrag him rather effortlessly. There was a good chance there, actually. That was down to a 1v1.
Yeah, DemQQ was actually standing by, and I believe he also started to pre-fire, yet last player not able to contest soon enough. He tried to play it smart, yet the problem was when he had to peek, because of course the player with the bump and the AWP moved in towards his position. He had no real chance, but, well, either to fight or to die instantly. Of course, right here in the Fight.GG Legend Series, it seems to go in favor of Crazy right now, but they are 1 map behind. But of course, this is their map pick. Apeks so far hasn't really shown too strong on towards Mirage, and we might go towards Nuke, especially as this eco will be punished quite easily. Then we'll get 1 in return. Oh, that's a beautiful shot on towards Psycho, but then he will be traded out by Toxic. Slowly but steadily, the players will be rotating, as there will still be 3 deagles in the hands of the Apeks players. Marcelius will get a frag, but Truth, and of course Marcelius overstaying their welcome, leaving only Gruss alive. So far, a legendary player on towards Dust, but he needs to also step up here. Sees the first, will miss his shots, and that means DemQ has an easy frag to make it into a 4-2 scoreline in favor of the T side. Slowly building their lead, something they weren't able to do on that first map.
We'll have to see now, and here you can highlight, well, we can see the replay. Dennis gets that first frag, and then just disgusting almost, I'd say. Lovely little shot on Psycho, 1 dig on a flying target, no less. That is well started off by Dennis, but in the end, Apeks can't really string it together as close as it might have been. Crazy indeed have that 2-round advantage now. That's something to work with, but Apeks now also has a full buy to work with themselves. And we'll see if that can come in to shine now like a bright star. And maybe let it be the shining star that leads Apeks to coming back and fixing their advantage. Or disadvantage even.
Seems to be an A execute to come in from Crazy. Marcelius with the opening kill makes it into a 5-on-4, but he's awkwardly low. Sensei with wallbang takes him out in the end, and also on towards Roof. He will follow up once more. Sensei so far a insane player, but the spray from Dennis will deal a lot of damage. Gets 1 on towards Sergis, will not get a second on towards Toxic, as I believe he actually dinged him through the smoke with his USP. That means, however, that still the player is alive, and the frags really need to start coming in soon for the side of Apeks, especially on towards Sensei, who's been playing currently in that ramp area with the AWP, now tagging up Apeks as well. And there will still be some utility to work with. One covering up the connector. That will be Dennis, a little bit stuck. He will try to move in soon, as it seems like Apeks is already going for the save. And has actually got one of his exit frags for his own. It will be the 5th round for the crazy side, but well, Apeks losing yet another player.
Oh.
And yet another round.
That's a shame for Apeks there, especially considering you have that AWP in his hands. Even more valuable to take with you to that next round. And yeah, crazy, you know. I'd say this is starting to look quite favorable for them. This is the T side as well. Now, I will admit, they're a Ukrainian team, right? Kind of in the CIS ballpark a little bit. You'd maybe expect a bit more aggressiveness from them, you know, a bit of the harsher tactics, the fiercer plays. And maybe in that sense, the T side, maybe leaning a little bit closer to them. So that's also something to keep in mind. Still, though, it has to be said, Apeks performing not too well. And you can see it on their economy, too. Their weapons are mediocre. It's all kind of based around Dennis as well, who has that AK in his hands, which he might be able to take with him. You know, he might be able to really come in clutch there. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. And this is one of the times where he really will have to. But it looks like it starts off negatively. Psycho frags Truth. That's the first player lost for Apeks. And Toxic here might actually get another frag himself as that smoke dissipates. And yes, he does. Sees Akis and takes him out too. 3v5 now. And things aren't looking too favorable for Apeks right now.
Marcetti is still standing by quite aggressively on towards ramp, and if there might be players there, not expecting a player, he would be able to get a double kill in. Sergis, however, still trying to clean every angle he can, as he's still standing by, but Sensei once more with an AWP kill. And he's already doing so much work for his team, and it seems like Crazy this time around is having the aim advantage. Being able to rack up kill after kill after kill, just only losing the 2 rounds with the pistol and the follow-up. It will be Gross now moving in with the ZZ, not really dealing as much damage as of yet, but the bomb also now actually rotating towards that B side, meaning this is a very good stall maneuver from the Crazy side. Not even necessary for them to gain any kills, as Toxic will be able to come in towards the flank and get one of his own. And that's actually his second of the round, leaving only Gross alive, trying to step away desperately.
Oh.
But he will fall as well. Very good chance there will be a 3rd map. But Apeks, of course, on Nuke could still bring it home for themselves.
Yeah, that's, of course, that 3rd map decider. Right now, I would say it is definitely starting to look like that 3rd map will be there. And Crazy, they have that 4-round advantage now, and that could be further built out.
Well, let's see what this round will bring. So far, it's going to be yet another full buy for Apeks, yet the previous 2 just didn't give them too much luck. Of course, they need to get it open and kill, and, well, as Sergis chimes in on towards the off player, will eventually get a kill, but Dennis with a refrag on towards Sensei, and that's so far the star player for the side of Crazy. A 4-on-4 situation, with flashbangs still being exploited by the side of Crazy, trying to get some map pressure, or at least put Truth out of his misery. As he's standing by in connector, and there will be a full rotate for an A play. There's 3 players standing by from that CT side, only 1 currently in towards B. And of course that will rotate later on if need be, but there's still so much time left as we're going to wait for this push to come in. Is there utility? Yes, a little bit. There's 2 smokes, there's a few mollies, and quite some flashes to work with, just enough to make things work as Gruss at the triple stack still standing by, and Molly would be able to come in towards his position, and he's the only direct line of contact. As the players of Crazy not even using their utility, that's one kind of player will get a kill. There's a dink on towards him. It will be DamQ eventually going down, but the bomb is currently being planted. And with Dennis now getting a frag in return as well, there might be a player lead for Apeks. More utility to be used. Weird that they didn't use it to stop a bomb plant to come in. It's going to be Surrogate taking in 1v1 against Truth, who was looking the wrong way. We still have flashes on for Surrogate. He will be wallbanged into oblivion, as is going to be Toxic getting the first frag onto Akis. You dare to save it. Now Surrogate's onto a 2v1 and more sprays towards the triple stack. And yet another round. This time going in favor of Apeks rather than Crazy, as they might have actually expected, as we might have expected, looking at how easily they entered that side.
Yeah, also just nicely cleared those angles there, to be quite honest. You know, that really got them the advantage and the critical frags to now go for the defuse and get themselves the 3rd round. gives them the opportunity to start working out that deficit a little bit and start catching up against CR4ZY. CR4ZY, who still are 3 rounds ahead, of course, but who are now maybe starting to lose control a little bit. They did still have plenty of reserves to kind of tap into to actually still buy in this 10th round. But, of course, after this, if it still goes south and if it still doesn't work out that well, then Marcelicious as well. He gets that initial frag. That is well done by him. DemQQ out of the running. Might be the advantage that they need.
It's going to be at least a good start from Apeks once more. At AWP in the hands of Marcellius, finally getting some frags. But Toxic is waiting for possible aggression to come out from that T side. It's going to be just a little bit of a waiting game now. Toxic standing by, hoping there would be a frag coming so that the rest of his team could then possibly go for a B split. However, as the molly flies in, he will be tagged up and has to go for a different angle. And that means there's a little bit of a slowdown coming in the plans of that crazy side. Marcellius on towards short now, but the AWP is rotated all the way across the map. However, he will be eventually flashed off his position, yet there will be trades coming out once more in favor of the Apeks side. As luckily, they were able to take down Toxic running in solo. Of course, being the only player in the B-apps, it seems to be a turnaround on towards A. Truth in that ramp position. AK in his hand. Surgus could get a frag here, and he will. Equal numbers, but only one player towards the A side. Able to stop this bomb plant, but he won't. Psycho right there to get a frag on towards Truth. Now a 3-on-2, and CR4ZY will most likely be able to win this round, but we've seen sillier stuff happen.
Oh, absolutely. A one-man disadvantage isn't the end of the world. That's very manageable for Apeks even. But it's going to end up coming down to how they enter onto this site. You can see Akers here checking it out from CT. We've got one player in Sandwich, I believe. That is Psycho. There is still too much. Oh, never mind. He equalizes it out. Actually sticks the defuse now. Ooh, Marcellius. That's bold, actually. That's working out. Because Sensei only frags Akers. And oh, my lord.
They had 2 players on towards that mid area.
Yeah, but
how did Sergis never peek in? How did he never get a kill? Of course, I can understand the Opper going for the first player he sees. However, that was not the danger. It was a player still defusing, and as you said, it works out. Marcellius gets the defuse. It's a ninja defuse going in favor of Apeks, now having 4 rounds. Slowly closing that gap. And CR4ZY, oh boy.
I mean, you know, I'd even say, I wouldn't even call it a ninja defuse because he just did it so plainly, so out in the open. There wasn't a smoke there or anything.
He didn't have anything.
It could have really easily been countered, but they just didn't. Speaking of counters, Marcellius goes for that Sensei refrag, and that makes it an even playing field, 4v4. But look at the Apeks equipment, you know. FAMAS, MP9, no utility, 1 defuse kit. Things aren't looking too favorable for them, and they're really going to have to play tight on those angles to make sure that CR4ZY doesn't stand the chance of getting onto a bomb site.
Apeks actually expecting the side of CR4ZY to use utility if they would enter through that B apartments, as nobody's currently watching it. That would be a free entrance, but the side of CR4ZY has now rotated back towards A to go for that execute once more. And as you said, MP9 on towards Gruz, there is no worry there. He's done great stuff with the weapon, both against ecos and full buys. Playing close angle from Shadow, not to be mollied up, then he will be able to possibly do more damage on towards that CR4ZY side, who are indeed going for this execute once more. No utility being used, yet there will be a pre-fire. DemQ gets the opening frag on towards Gruz. There will be damage on towards Truth as well, who then takes 1 frag on towards Sergis, but the side has once more been taken by CR4ZY. Marcellius moving through CT. There was a player that actually tried to contest him, yet he's now moved off, and now we have a 1v1 coming up right soon. And Marcellius misses his shot. Flashbang. Most likely to contest him in that position, but Dennis now also holding the angle, having the smoke as well. There will be a player on towards Tetris. Psycho should peek in and will get indeed a free frag on towards Dennis, trying to battle it out against DemQ. And Apeks has now decided to go for a save. They don't have the money, and of course not the armor on towards Marcellius to play this round out to perfection.
And that's decently well done. CR4ZY can preserve the free weapons. The only advantage for Apeks being that M4 and that AWP. It's nicely, well, it's nice for them to take whiff to the next round, but even then it's still worrying. You know, CR4ZY now is starting to get close to that 8th round, and once you reach that 8th round, it's a certain milestone. It's a nice little meeting, or, well, sort of point of contention for your first half. Once you have it, you have a guaranteed advantage into the second half, regardless of how it plays out. And once you have it, you can also build up further from it. You know, we've seen it before that people, or well, teams even, they make it a 10v5. And that is a kind of tough deficit to get over. You know, 5 rounds behind, that's a lot to work up against. And it's worrying, you know, if you see a team like Apeks who really do need it to go in their favor, especially now in this map. You know, if they want to have a chance at making this a 2-0, then they will really need to start showing up on their CT side, even now at, well, sort of pistol armor / pistol buy.
Yeah, it's just a real eco coming down from Apeks, trying to preserve whatever funds they have and buy in the next. Marcellus tried to contest mid. Figured, I have to rotate back through connector. What was there? Molly goes to 54 HP. They at least had a stack going for him. If, again, it would have been an A play coming down from Crazy, they would have been able to possibly contest. Yet, now a clean round going in favor of the T side. Now at least also gaining the advantage round-wise at the end of the first half. But we're not there yet. This could still mean double digits in favor of that Crazy side, as Dennis is trying to move in with his CZ, hoping to get a weapon for himself. But there's at least 1, maybe 2 players watching an angle towards here. Psycho standing by will eventually see Dennis, but he's not responding in time. May have had a little bit of an itchy nose, Dennis, with a second exit frag. And that is rather expensive. It's something I often have. Whenever I'm holding an angle, either my nose or some other place on my face starts itching. I'm not sure if you have the same.
I had that just now. Really? We were on camera, so I ignored it.
Oh,
it's
I
true.
can't.
Yeah, it's true suffering. Sometimes I try and kind of subtly be like, oh yeah, just kind of whip something away. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not, I don't know. Oh yeah, just scratching my beard a little bit. But in general, I try to ignore it. Keep those hands on the desk. And just deal with it, or well, suffer through it until.
I'm a weak-minded person.
Clearly,
is what you're
it's
telling me.
okay. It's okay. I don't blame you. There are worse things you can do on camera. So on that note, let's see how much worse Crazy is going to make it for Apeks. They've got that 8th round now, and they can start building up further from this. The Vi.GG odds are not in their favor just yet, but of course these are match odds, and these are keeping the first map that went to Apeks in mind. Mirage being their map pick, being their territory, so to speak, them statistically being quite a lot better on it, a whopping quick math 33% better. So with that, Crazy definitely having things look quite favorable for them. Also with the fact that they are playing pretty well for their T side.
Ooh, Marcelli is having the angle. The AWP takes on Surgus. Truth will go aggressive, gets a double. They weren't expecting late aggression like this, and now the bomb has also been dropped at top mid. And that makes, of course, now a very good chance for the side of Apeks to follow up on towards this round as Truth once more still goes aggressive. Will be standing by. Another frag comes in. That's already a triple for himself. And Demq also close with his AK. To be chased out to at least gain 1 kill for himself. With 30 seconds left, I would dare to say he has little to no chance to win this round. At least some utility being thrown out, and now he's just swapping around. He doesn't really know what to do. There will be an 8, there will be a molly, and goodbye! Marcellius even gets the frag with his AK rather than the AWP. And then just swaps back casually, as can be, as it will be that 8-5. Apeks getting yet another round for themselves, and, well, Crazy now struggling more and more the further this half progresses.
Yeah, and you can see it as well in their money reserves. It is going to be a full buy to my knowledge, but it isn't really the... Well, actually, no, it is going to be fine. But, nope, never mind. Look at that deagle on Psycho. That is one lackluster part of the rest of this buy. On the rest of the team, it's going to be those AKs. So let's see what they make do with it, because obviously after this buy, they won't really have much to go on in the last round of the first half. So if they don't get their opening frags, and if they don't open up a site well, if Apeks, their defense is going to be too strong, then I'm afraid that Crazy can already throw away the chances or the hopes for double digits.
It's going to be Toxic standing by once more towards that B side area. On the default for the T side, you almost always see the same player going there, trying to either contest it, often even push it solo, just to see how the defense is set. And as you can see most often for Apeks, that defense isn't set all too heavily on defending that apps. So if you just sneak through, there would be a chance. A player from Benelux, Yannick, always happened to do that and quite often was rather successful. As we do want to at least expect Crazy to do that once in the time that we will still have on towards their T side, because it's just a freebie, But they once more go for it. They execute a little bit of a split with one player currently on top mid, and the rest will go via Palace and only one free round. Russ standing by, gets the first frag. Damage being dealt on towards Psycho as well. Marcelius is low. Still, it's going to be yet another frag. DMQ going down as well as Sergis, and Gross stepping up time and time again. Now another triple kill coming in from Apeks, meaning it's the 6th round for Apeks. Only one more in this half to play. And so far it seems like CR4ZY is struggling the further we progress.
Yeah, and with that you can see, you know, their financial, it doesn't look too good. Nobody above the 3,000 mark even. There is a bit of a loss bonus, but that's about it. And Apeks, it can be quite certain, I'd say, of their 7th round here if you look purely at the equipment value. Apeks, of course, they have full utility, they have full armor, they have all the weapons their lovely little hearts could desire. And with that, CR4ZY will face somewhat tougher odds here towards the end of this first half. Question, of course, being that towards this end of the first half, how CR4ZY is going to play out that CT side, you know? It could go either way. It could be the CT side that is massively, massively in their favor. But at the same time, though, I don't immediately see it happen. I think there is a definite risk involved, and CR4ZY could maybe just throw it away a little bit on that other side. Or they could perhaps just put down a very assertive round streak and, of course, with a logical result, map win. Pushing us to nuke the decider for this match.
Well, first we have to see how this last round of the first half will play out, of course. Apeks currently having that momentum in their favor. CR4ZY maybe not having the best buy as well. But then going towards the second half, I'm curious to see if Apeks is able to once more win the pistol, because so far 3 out of 3. 4 out of 4 will be great, and usually when you have those 2 pistols, one in your favor, there's an incredibly high chance you will actually win the, or at least the map, and sometimes even the series, as well. Apeks has now had 3 out of 4, the 3 we have seen. First, we had a tactical pass from CR4ZY, but now we also have a technical from Apeks, trying to at least stay as strong as they can be, getting every round to go in their favor as well.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you just have those tech issues. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens that you spill something over your keyboard, that you have internet issues, you know. I mean, throwback to Hellraisers where they just disconnect the entire team.
That's nice.
Yeah, you know, and when things are going wrong, you don't leave one player alone, you know. You take that problem as a team. Everyone struggles. You struggle together, not alone. Still, though, it is always a bit of a shame when it happens, and right now let's hope that Apeks rather swiftly comes back on this, and that the technical issues will be helped away for them. Do you believe, I think, or I'll ask it like a question, but I think that you are pretty confident here in this last round going to Apeks, right?
Well, they should. Looking at the players from CR4ZY standing by, do you see a single AK? No.
Nope.
Do you see a single AWP? No. Do you see an actual rifle? No.
No.
Just pistols. Decent utility nonetheless, because of course they had some money with their loss bonus. But it's not enough to, well, properly make a dent on towards the CT side, you dare to say. But, well, of course, so far in this tournament, like every tournament, sometimes the pistols are just really strong because players feel more freely playing those. So there is still a chance that CR4ZY could still get this round, make it into a 9-6. That's going to be a decent half for him. But there's also a chance that Apeks will bring it close, and then with a pistol round will be able to equalize the score, start to build momentum on towards their T side as well.
Yes, and I suppose that pistol round is going to be the solid indicator. Now here we can see
B-Rush?
Tech 9s all around. B-Rush, yeah. Let's go right through apartments, maybe.
But Dennis is already moving in. Psycho going off the angle at the exact wrong time. Nate's soon to follow, you dare to say, from the side of Apeks, or at least they're slowly putting down pressure. It's going to be indeed now a push to come in. Will be a molly on towards the white fan, but Dennis is standing ready for this spray. Now there will be some players. Oh, this spray is horrendous. It's Akis at least with the first frag, and they're trying to commit, and Nate will fall in. It's going to be Marcelius also with a follow-up. Now Dennis finally with a kill. He has to reload after a while as well. 4-2 situation. Bomb still in the hands of DMQ. Now getting the kill towards Dennis as well, because he decided to swap weapons. And DMQ having the AK and the Zeus as well. But the Zeus is the most important weapon.
Absolutely, you know, like he might have the best rifle in the game, but it's that Zeus that's going to make the clutch plays. seriously though, Dennis, that man struggles sometimes with his spray downs.
He was just a little bit too handsy with the trigger finger.
Yeah,
because he didn't wait for a proper moment to strike, and now we see Marcelius with a triple kill, and indeed it will be that 7-8 scoreline.
Yeah.
But I think we've all been there. You see too many players, you figure, I go spray, but you don't know who you start to spray on. You just figure, I spray them down.
Yeah, of course you don't, in that you have the tension of the moment. It's also so exciting and so wild, and you don't quite know what to do. But indeed, usually, according to the, the rules, so to speak, I think you know what I mean. You go for the furthest targets, and then you work your way down. Ideally,
the closer they are, the easier they get.
Ideally with clean taps, but sometimes that is a bit of a big ask. That's difficult.
Well, it just was Dennis currently, by the way, still top fragging with 19 frags.
Surprisingly enough,
Going full with the AK, hoping that eventually the player would just fall. That didn't really work out, but, well, luckily, CR4ZY was able to get around it. Now going to yet another pistol round. So far, their specialism. Just having a cheeky peek back towards what we saw in the match against Nexus. On towards Mirage. There, they didn't win a single pistol, but then again, they didn't win many rounds at all because it was 16-14 for Nexus.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it is what it is. Let's see if on the T side they'll be able to grab that one as well. Then it would be the the full-on pistol round wins all around for Apeks, and of course they might have had that pistol round. I do believe they didn't have that knife round to start out on.
Apeks.
Or actually, no, they did because they started on the CT side.
Oh, smart.
Just gotta yeah.
Baby. We just had, I think, another technical issue for the side of Apeks. Hopefully, everything to be resolved right now, and they'll be going on towards their T-side pistol, going for an A-take. Will it be with utility? Oh, yes, indeed. Will it be quick? Not as quick, but at least quick enough, as they do sneak on towards that ramp area. Players standing by, only 2. But also 1 in jungle, and actually a player pushing through short as well for the side of CR4ZY, making it able for them to come back rather quickly. No smoke towards CT, not necessary as CR4ZY has pushed on towards the triple stack. Psycho now with the open kill with his USP will go for a reload, and CR4ZY will step in as well. From Trash, it will be Psycho getting yet another. And then CR4ZY with a clean tapping spray. He will get 2 more, triple kill for himself, and the 9th round for CR4ZY, and we jinxed that perfect pistol score.
Yep, exactly. The cast curse is real, ladies and gentlemen. It's a shame, but it is really there. Oh well, I'd say CR4ZY they fought and they did a deserved they got a deserved win there. I mean that hold by CR4ZY there, triple kill with the pistol, that was cleanly tapped away.
From triple stack as well. So
yeah,
really playing the numbers game. As we do see CR4ZY eventually now having that decent buy for themselves. M4 for 2 players, Psycho and CR4ZY. Of course, the player who also got the kills in the previous. Now we do see a run boost from Dennis. And hoppity hop. He will stop, nades. But there will be a nade stack indeed coming in. It will be Damq with a double Q damage being dealt on towards the player on short, yet no kills to be found by the side of Apeks. MP9s, I believe, also getting a double on towards Sensei, making some more money for his AWP to come later on, possibly even in this round, because they know Apeks will now buy. And what is a good counter for an AK? That AWP.
Absolutely, and I do prefer I prefer seeing it more on the CT side than I do like seeing it on the T side. I find Mirage T side AWP, you've only got the one really at mid.
Also at ramp, you can hold an angle from Palace and possibly go aggressive at apps.
But I don't know. I personally, at least, this may be my personal preference, just coming in a little bit, the personal bias. I don't like peeking from Palace. It's usually I feel too
claustrophobic.
Yeah, and I feel too contested from stairs really on that A side. But maybe that's just me. Maybe the pro players know how to handle that.
I think it's just you.
Yeah, the pro players.
Are you a main opper?
No.
Well, I think that really explains why.
Coincidentally, I sometimes get my hands on the AWP. I do have to admit, when I get my hands on it, I do play pretty well. Even on Mirage, as a matter of fact. On CT box, I once got this shot. I jumped, boom. I just jumped with the AWP.
Insane.
Bam.
Meanwhile, we see Gruss going for a flank once more. At least he will get a kill towards CR4ZY, yet it wasn't clean. Meaning Sensei with his AWP. Indeed, he upgraded from the MP9. Able to now get a frag. As it will be back to a 4-on-4, but with a player going down towards the A side, they want to go for it. They execute. Sensei, however, gets another frag as no utility was really exploited as of yet. Now a smoke on towards the side, and a rotate to come in. Dennis with 1. but he will be taken down by DemQ as he overextends just that wee bit. Back to a 3-on-2 bomb will go down. Sensei can't contest it. Nate will go in a little bit too deep as well to deal any damage. But still, it's a good chance for Crazy. They have to defuse because they have now maybe a little bit of struggle if Marcelli's on towards this mid area. But the problem is that Apeks has now fallen. Marcelli is 1v2. Currently in connector. Psycho can't deal with him, but he just needs Sensei to hold the angle, and he might actually go for that defuse. It's going to be Sensei moving up. Psycho actually getting the frag himself. Bugged up spray coming down for the player from the T side. And we do indeed see the 11th round go to Crazy. I believe that AWP to be saved, and indeed, I actually expected them to throw around some different stuff. Psycho just got an AK from his teammate. That's so kind.
Yeah, no,
it's
he
cute.
actually threw it his way, so that he didn't have to walk the extra, like, what, 5 meters?
Which, of course, you can't do after you defused.
No, exactly. To be fair, though, I mean, hey, you deserve a little bit of a tap on the back for, or a pat on the back for putting in that defuse, right? And you get the extra score for it.
The taps on the back happened with Gruss trying to spray down the player at ramp.
Yeah.
As you do still, of course, now see a pistol armor coming down from Apeks, not really having too much money, despite having, of course, also that plan.
Utility.
That's going to be some very good volleys, but Gruss, he's quicker than you've ever seen anyone run before. Yet he'll also go rather low, as the nades do fly in. Gruss will come in with the Tech 9, will get a decent chunk on towards DemQ, but it won't really work. Toxic being hurt by one of his teammates. Eventually to be taken down by Akey, but DemQ still in the corner, will get one more of his own, then jump in towards the smoke and try to extend the fight a little bit longer. Apeks could try to turn towards the A side. There's only one player actively contesting into its market. Yet they will go for the B plant and now try to go for the fight. AWP for Marcellis is a very good upgrade. AKS will get 1 kill, will get a second, now a 1v1. He has armor, he has a triple, and he might have a 4K relatively soon, and indeed he will. Saving that AWP for Marcelli is soon to come, and that is going to be 11-8. Crazy losing against the pistol armor, and possibly throwing away some stuff.
Honestly, like, Apeks at times, they, well, even if actually Apeks Crazy really, that spray there, for example, on that B site, with one of the Apeks players just being out there in the open. In the end, the result is there. I believe it was DemQQ. But some of the sprays are just not very good ones.
But also an incendiary on towards your teammate.
Yeah.
Toxic was standing there like, oh, now I have to peek. Then he died as well. So it's a big waste for the side of Crazy, not really using their utility too properly. Now they're forcing back in. Sensei, good timing on the smoke shot on towards Gruss. Of course, spinning to winning with his karambit. We do. Just
like the one we have right here.
Yeah, I don't dare to touch it. It's probably sharp. I'll hurt myself.
Yeah, I've got an M9 at home, as I've mentioned a few times in the past, and those things they actually, like, I think it's ceramic or something, but it's actually really sharp. It's actually metal, part of the, it's.
Ceramic isn't metal.
No, exactly, but I remember when I got it, this was way back, this was back in, at Game Force, I think, the first one, actually, and, yeah, as a souvenir. From my first English event.
Well, let's see what this execute towards the A side will bring. So far, it's going to be Apeks getting 2 players to go down on their side, but it will be actually an A play. A little bit of a cheeky fake, only 1 player standing by. That's Toxic, this time not to be mollied out just yet by one of his teammates. By his opponents on towards bench. And there will be yet another molly to fly in. Just like they're trying to tease him. There's going to be a kill for him on towards Marcellis. It's taking too long for the side of Apeks to get those kills. DemQ flanking around on towards roof. Now a 1v4 for Dennis. Time is ticking away as he's going for his AK spray. He will be the first peak to come in, and it's going to be DemQ with another kill. It's going to be 12-8, and Crazy will be able to force back in towards their round. And now, well, have a money-struck Apeks on the other side. Most likely for a pistol armor or force with 2 weapons.
Yeah, I believe... Well, Apeks, I think they'll just make the best out of it with this buy. It's not going to be ideal, but it will probably, by the looks of things, be that pistol armor like you call it. And indeed, although not even armor on everyone, Gruss and Truth just simply not having enough money to fund that investment. We'll see if maybe this pistol armor they can still make go their way. If they recover a weapon or 2, there's a solid chance there. Psych, however, opens it up well. Dennis goes down, fragged by him. And does he get the second? Yes, he does. The spray down is there. Marcelli's in the smoke, caught down by Psycho and DemoQQ at the same time. Toxic here on the site now should be able to take out, I believe that is Gruss? Nope, it's Truth. The numbers are hard to read on the minimap from this distance.
Sure, I only hear excuses as we do, of course, see the bomb being dropped down on toward that balcony area. Toxic with yet another clean headshot, and that's a third frag to come in the 13th round for the side of Crazy. Maybe they'll bring it to nuke. Maybe they won't. It all depends on Apeks and their next buy round.
It's a big question mark, but I believe that Crazy now should have a solid chance to keep this up, to keep this going. You know, there's that 5-round advantage that they have, with which they simply, you know, decisively even overtake Apeks, and with which they can now keep it up and get themselves onto that second map. Vital, of course, for Crazy. They have lost the first map, and for Apeks, well, it sadly isn't quite looking like it's going to happen anymore. It isn't looking like they would have that chance, like they would have an opportunity.
Very good flash on towards Struve. That's Sergey to the opening kill, helped out by Psycho. It seems like Crazy as a unit is improving further and further in towards this map, whereas on towards the map of Dust, they were just falling back the more the match progressed. We now do see slowly a 5-4 develop in favor of Crazy. Now, once more just trying to hold angles. The moment they have that opening frag, there's no real reason to go for some crazy stuff. This is going to be Dennis now moving in on towards jungle. A player through the smoke. Oh, Psycho could be caught off guard, and indeed Gruss will get one, but how does he not get a second? Luckily there will be Dennis to equalize the numbers back to a 3-on-3, but they need to get more as Surrogates will be spotted on towards the default position. Dennis mollying on towards Shadow, however. That won't really help. Second molly going in rather deep, and Surrogates has actually moved past. Toxic now also with a kill towards Dennis and towards Akis as well. And we do see a 14th round to come in. Crazy doing rather well to bring it back in this moment in time. Already you've now gone to the 23rd round, seeing if Apeks can slowly bring it back for themselves.
You know what I did?
Put money.
Yeah, you've seen it, right? I may have fat fingered a little bit and accidentally put it in 4 times instead of once.
What?
I know. It surprised me as well.
Did it actually go through? You have to refresh.
I'm not sure.
Because I don't trust your fat fingers.
Oh, it looks like it went through, okay.
I'm not too sure. Sensei has gotten the first kill, wants to go for a second peek, will now be contested from the bench. Throws in the smoke for himself, as now we have DamQ and Sergey's got another few frags in. Apeks currently on a pistol armor, and they're waiting, they're falling. It's only Truth alive, with a deagle, of course, in hand. But will it be enough to at least get one frag? We've seen them get some beautiful 1-deeks. And as the players are moving more and more aggressively by the minute, it's a chance for him as, well, he does bring DamQ to 1 HP. But 1 HP equals 1 kill for DamQ as well, 15-8. Map point here for Crazy. And we might be seeing a third map to come out straight away.
Yes, at least the one thing, well, in Crazy's advantage, so to speak, being that this is a far more decisive second map, it seems. Crazy, they very much have the opportunity to finish this out. Now, it has to be said that Apeks will, however, have a decent enough buy. Might be a tactical timeout now coming in from either team. But Crazy, 1 round away from winning this second map, which would propel us onto Nuke, the third and, of course, Decider map. A map which, well, statistically is the closest so far. And with that, I am interested to see how that would work out. I wonder if it would be Crazy at least following the statistics there and making it a 2-1. I think you've also said it before yourself that if things do get to Nuke, that it would be a bit of a danger zone for Apeks to be in.
Of course, Apeks playing Nuke yesterday as well, bringing it to overtime in the first match against Nexus. They lost that after throwing away a 5-3. And, well, those kind of things happen as we do wait for this round to start. Most likely another tactical coming in for the side of Apeks, trying to improve what they can. But against the AWP of Sensei so far, they've really struggled. And also DamQ going aggressive. Oh, that's another bucked up nade from Psycho. He does not get to the frag. Dennis with 4 HP is able to at least contest. And if a nade would have gone through, he would have been able to get that frag for himself. 2 players being spotted out. That's 1, that's 2, that's a bomb dropped as well for DamQ. And it seems like Crazy now has a very good shot of winning this round. As Dennis being low, there's only 2 players that can really make this work on the side of Apeks.
And let's see, really, if that's going to happen. You know, Dennis, he would only have to catch 1 nade, I believe, and there are still plenty of those available. Marcelli is now going down by the hands of Toxic, and here's that nade, but it is on Gruss. However, I believe it was maybe a sort of spray coming from Toxic there that takes out Dennis. Gruss, last man standing, and sadly is the last man standing, also not really with that many opportunities in his hand. A 4v1, this is tough, and DemQQ sees him, spots him out, and gets the frag. 16-8, a convincing win for CR4ZY, I dare say. Well played by them, and sadly for Apeks, of course, meaning that they will now have to battle it out again on that third map. The third map also being a bit more favorable for CR4ZY, I dare say.
Well, it's hurtful for Apeks to see them once more struggle on towards Mirage, something they've had before. Yesterday, they got smacked around by Nexus 16-4. Now, at least they doubled their score, but we dare to say that CR4ZY might be a lesser team than Nexus on towards this map. But CR4ZY showing up, having all players work together quite well, whereas Apeks sometimes played a little bit solo, just like we've seen them play yesterday, and that really ground them to a halt yesterday as well, possibly on towards New